Hello everybody. Organization and management of educational programs for children with special needs. Today under this we are going to deal with the lesson Educational Provisions for Children with Special Needs. The objective of this lesson is to understand the effective provisions for the special educational needs and to understand developing the curriculum in response to the educational needs and to understand the effective provisions of the educational programs for children under 5, the primary school children and the secondary school children. The effective provision of special educational needs. There are 10 distinctive features of effective provisions of the special educational needs. Let us look at each of them in detail. The first one is understanding the special educational needs. Those who are planning and making provisions, they have thought through and share an understanding of the continuum of the special educational needs. Effective identification and assessment procedures. Effective and efficient procedures for identification and assessment of the special education needs of the children and young persons are recognized as essential first steps in making a good provision for them. The next is the appropriate curriculum. The special educational needs of children and young persons are met through the provision of an appropriate curriculum. The forms of provisions suited to their needs. The children and young persons are more likely to make good progress through the school units and colleges, which ensure the provisions must suit to their special educational needs. Next comes the effective approaches to learning and teaching. Varied and efficient strategies for learning and teaching include specific techniques to meet the special educational needs of the children and the young person. Attainment of educational goals. Provision ensures that the children and young persons have every opportunities to progress and to achieve the educational goals in line with their aptitude and abilities. Next is the parental involvement. The rights and responsibilities of parents. They are to be respected and they are actively encouraged to be involved in making decisions about the approaches taken to meet their children's special educational needs. Interprofessional cooperation. The teachers enhance their effectiveness by working cooperatively with their colleagues in schools and other educational services, and when required with other professionals from the health boards, social work departments and any other voluntary agencies. Effective management of provisions. Provision for special educational needs is planned and well managed and regularly reviewed. The last one is the full involvement of the child or the young person. The views and aspirations of an individual child or young person with special educational needs are the central in making all forms of provisions. In developing the curriculum in response to the special educational needs, the schools have a difficult task of reconciling the competing demands of the balanced programs of work and activities required to teach skills essential for the individual progress. The teacher make use of planning strategies of differentiation and its exclusion in individualization, adaptation, enhancement and elaboration. Let us look at differentiation. The pupils and student work on the same curricular area, but interact in different ways with the teachers and resources. They have some or all the assignments, the learning strategies, resources, the teaching methods and the pupil grouping planned to differentially, taking into account their aptitudes and their level of their strengths and attainments and needs. Individualization. the aspects of the curriculum or approaches to learning and teaching are altered to take into account the special educational needs of the individual pupils or students. Adaptation. The content of the areas or the courses is altered to allow the people facing obstacles caused by their disabilities to gain access to comparable experience to those with their peers or to suitable alternatives. Particular emphasis may be placed on one stand or aspect of the curriculum because of its significance to the individuals. Enhancement. The content of the curricular areas or courses is expanded to ensure that abler pupils are suitably stimulated and challenged. Elaboration. The content of the curriculum is specifically designed to meet the needs of the pupils and students with delayed or seriously disrupted general development or those who require additional standards or aspects not normally available in the mainstream curriculum. This is about developing curriculum for children with special educational needs. The special educational needs most likely to be identified in the preschool children, and they are those which are pronounced or complex. They mainly relate to the specific syndromes or to physical or neurological or intellectual conditions which delay or disrupt the normal pattern of development. However, improved assessment strategies have shown that less obvious but still serious difficulties and disorders in the areas of cognitive, language, emotional and social development also give rise to the special educational needs. For many of these children, the effects are such that the difficulties will persist throughout their lives, but with appropriate interventions and support from the earliest stages, they learn and progress. For others, however, the learning problems are overcome before they are admitted to the school due to the appropriate intervention, maturation or change in circumstances, or it can be a combination of all the three. In recognition of the importance of enhancing the early learning of such children, education authorities and many voluntary agencies since long before the introduction of statutory recording from the age of 2 have developed the educational services covering the period from soon after the birth to admission to the school with some objectives and aims. Let us look at these objectives or aims. The aim is to assist parents and carers to be confident and effective in nurturing the child's development. And second aim is to identify, assess and make provisions for children with special educational needs, and to provide educational programs aimed at promoting learning and progress, and to enable parents and professionals to work together. The other aim is to assist the parents to choose an appropriate school placement. Now, let us look at the curriculum for these children under 5. Within the preschool period, an appropriate curriculum aims to provide the child's or the children's general development and to lay foundations of the knowledge of understanding and skills essential for later learning. The major preschool curricular areas are communication and language, body language, early conversational skills, listening and looking including where necessary, use of hearing aids or understanding a sign language, talking or communicating by means of speech, signs, symbols or electronic communication aids, enjoyment of picture books, the media like the television, and for the children with motivation and ability, learning to read and write when ready. Next area is the personal and social development. Fostering personal identity and confidence, and making and maintaining relationships, adjusting to new situations at home and in an early learning center and in the community. The skills for personal independence and play are included in this area of curriculum. The knowledge and understanding of the world environment. Learning to use all senses to interpret and make sense of people, the object, the places and events and their relationship to one another, understanding and applying the concepts including as appropriate, early mathematics, getting to know about the plants, animals and other living things, and encouragement to develop a curiosity and sense of wonder, early problem solving skills, all these come under this area of curriculum. Next one is the physical development and movement. The development of functional movement in sitting, lying, rolling, kneeling, walking, running, jumping, climbing, all these will including the fine motor skills and coordinations, learning to use aids to movement and to become as independent as possible, and extending the movement experience on different terrain on transport and in activities like riding and swimming. They all come under this physical area of curriculum. Expressive and aesthetic experience. Listening to and making learning about or enjoying music in many forms, dance and creative movement, drama through mimes, stories, rhymes, puppets and pretend and fantasy play, experiences and learning about the colors, textures, forms, patterns, pictorial representations, making and baking, experimenting with paints, crayons, pencils, modeling materials and collage, all come under this aesthetic experiences of the curriculum. This is for the children under 5 years of age. The majority of the special educational needs in primary school arises from the difficulties the pupil experience in acquiring the knowledge and understanding the skills which make up the curriculum. A significant number of pupils have special educational needs because for physical, neurological, emotional or social reasons, they cannot learn traits similar to those of their peers. They often have a multiplicity of minor problems which together create obstacles to a learning. Finally, the continuum in the primary sector includes the pronounced, specific and complex special educational needs of such severity that most are recorded before the pupils are admitted into the tertiary education. The efficient systems integrate the school's overall approach to the assessment, recording and reporting to the parents with formal reviews required for the pupil with records of the needs. The additional measures may be the multi-professional reassessment and more time and privacy necessary for discussion with the parents. The frequency of the reviews, it depends upon the individual needs, their personal circumstances and views of the parents and the school staff. Annual reviews timetable to coincide with and start or the ending of a school session, and they have the merit of assisting staff in evaluating and adjusting the programs of the work. The curriculum for these children in primary stage. The framework or shaping of the curriculum at the primary stage is intended for all pupils, including those with special educational needs. The mechanisms of learning outcomes, the attainment targets and programs of study assist teachers in their prime role of making the curriculum appropriate for their students. The content of the curriculum. The content of the curriculum outlined in 5 areas, that is the English language, mathematics, environmental studies, expressive arts, and religious and moral education. It should be designed to meet the special educational needs of the vast majority of the pupils. The most common approach used by the teachers to achieve this end is known as differentiation, a set of strategies chosen to ensure that the work is appropriate to the needs of the individuals and provide sufficient challenge. However, where special educational needs are exceptional, the class teachers, even those in charge of the special classes, find that they need to do more, and generally with assistance of the promoted staff and various specialists in the learning support. They apply the strategies of individualization, enhancement, adaptation so that they can meet some exceptional needs. The teacher finds it necessary to elaborate the curricular content by adding, replacing, removing learning outcomes and the stands and attainment targets. These targets will be different for different people having different disabilities like the hearing impairments, the visual impairments, the physical disabilities, the language disorders, and the specific difficulties in reading and writing. After having understood the curriculum areas and the learning strategies, let us now see what are the characteristics of effective forms of provision at the primary stage. The school should provide an appropriate primary curriculum through which general and special educational needs are met. The school provides the optimum opportunities for the people to relate to each other and also to the community. The accommodation and resources should be suitable. The teaching staff have the expertise or immediate access to the expertise required to meet the people's educational needs. The school is committed to offering each individual a continuous education. Parents are fully involved in making decisions which affect the child's educational programs. Support services are available as and when required. Now, let us see the characteristics of effective learning and teaching. Effective learning takes place in primary classrooms where the teacher establishes and maintains a good classroom ethos in which the pupils are motivated to learn. The teachers should plan, prepare and organize lessons well and ensure that the pupils are clear about what they have to learn. Recognizing the need for good classroom organization and including the organization of the resources. The teacher set a good example and foster good relationships with the people. They should have the high but attainable expectations of the students in respect of both academic performance and good behavior. The teacher should provide tasks which are well matched to the needs, attitudes, aptitudes, prior knowledge of the individual students. Understand the role of language in learning. The teachers should check that learning has taken place by ensuring the assessment, and it should be an integral part of the classroom work and provides a diagnostic information on the pupil's progress and information which can be used to evaluate their teaching and also to inform the parents. The teacher should give the pupils or the students feedback on their work and which helps them in learning effectively and identify the best next step for them, taking into account their strengths and also their needs. The teacher support the classroom learning with the work done at home where this is appropriate and in accordance with the school policy. This is about the effective provisions for children with special educational needs at the primary stage. At the secondary stage, the continuum of the special educational needs and the difficulties which give rise to them are in most respects similar to those described for the primary schools. Any differences relate to increasing demands made by the pupil in terms of their physical and emotional development, in terms of the complex organization of the secondary school, and in terms of expectations of greater independence and the expanded curriculum. The vocational dimensions and preparation for transition and adulthood. So, therefore, it is essential that the parents and teachers consider the special educational needs within the various educational, social and vocational contexts in which the students are placed. During the first years of the secondary schooling, the number of those exhibiting the social and emotional behavioral difficulties are in rise, and in part because they are not able to adjust to the expectations and demands of the parents, the school and the society. In comparison with the primary years, the pupils' special educational needs can change more rapidly and often necessitating frequent adjustment to the provisions made for them. So, this is about the effective provisions for children at the secondary stage. Now, let us see the characteristics of effective provisions at secondary school. The members of learning support services in the secondary school achieve their overall aim of assisting pupils and their teachers when they can cooperate or operate within a sound school policy and support all the students. They are supported and consulted by the senior management team who facilitate their work within the departments. They have realistic remits. They are efficient systems for briefing all members of staff and responding to the requests of assistance. And there is a recognized base from which to work, and the levels of the staff development and training are sufficient to consolidate and extend the expertise. The effective schools recognize all these concerns and they seek to assist the students and parents in making such decisions through means such as like the members of staff often guiding or learning support department, which is identified as the key contact in the secondary school for the pupils and parents, and this person has the full update information about the pupils' needs and progress. The regular scheduled meetings, in addition to those required for future needs assessment, are held with the parents to discuss the pupils' progress and possible options. The schools arrange for parents and pupils to meet with other professionals such as the members of career services, the social work departments or the other staff in universities and colleges who can provide further information and advice about the options available to these children. When required, the pupils are given opportunities to take part in the social educational programs designed to assist them to develop and extend the life and study skills, and parents are informed about how to raise concerns with the members of the staff. So, today we have understood the educational provisions for children with the special educational needs. We have understood the effective strategies that can be employed in educating these children with special needs. We have also understood the curriculum and how it can be modified to include these children with special educational needs into the mainstream schools. We also understood the challenges that are faced. We have understood the effective provisions for the special educational needs for the children under 5 years of age, and the curricular areas, the modifications are required and the effective strategies or characteristics of the children under 5 years of age with special educational needs. And then we went to understand the effective provisions for children with special educational needs at the primary and secondary stage. Hope you have understood the lesson. Thank you.